I am the first man in your whole career that you have run from. Like the chicken song that you play. You are running from me. You're running from your what you've been doing for 31 years. Trying to get us killed here. Jesse's so upset that he tried to cross the street before he should have, and caused these cars to stop and bash into each other. So that's because I now have video proof, more so than before.
Tell them about you sleeping with your brother's wife.
Oh, that's nice. He wants me to tell them how I was sleeping with my brother's wife. That's fine. But Jesse, why will you not speak on your homosexual behaviors?
I met Jesse, and Jesse, one of the first things he did is ask me if I was a homosexual. He started to counsel me. The understanding was he was going to counsel me and help me overcome any issues that I had so I could come back to the self that I was when I was born and I was free. Instead, Jesse ended up grooming me, and later we ended up having over a 10-year period of totally wrong sexual relationship.
Hi, you guys. So I wanted to come on and touch on this story about Jesse Lee Peterson. To my understanding, is also a minister. I guess these church people, they really showing out right now, right? I guess maybe it's just a sign of the times. But he is a Republican talking head, and he tries to pretend as if he falls in line with their quote-unquote value system. And so he has made some comments against the LGBT community in the past, and come to find out, as you can hear, he has carried on relationships with other men. And so, it just has people wondering, how do he separate himself from the very people that he has so much to say, that he's so anti about? And so, it makes for interesting conversations. Personally, I don't understand it. I understand the politics and each side of it. But if you know you didn't really fall in line with their value system on that point, you still could be a Republican without saying all that negative stuff, right, about the LGBT community. You still can see value in some of their value system and in their points that they make, without doing the racist stuff. Like, we see this all the time with certain individuals who are of color, because that's when we're going to start calling them people of color, who do this, who will, do the whole talking like they can't understand why black people are talking about racism, or they can't understand why we don't see why the police officer was aggressive with someone over driving 30 miles instead of 20, because that story is out here about an Uber driver, but not to get off topic. But then when it came down to a real serious life or death situation with little children, you didn't see the same mindset or activity or aggression from these police departments, right? And that wasn't the first time that happened. There was another school incident a few years ago, and one officer he was fired when the video came out of him sitting in the parking lot, and he didn't go into the school to try to do anything. Do you guys remember that? I don't remember the city now, but I do remember that story. And so it's not the first time. Black people get the aggression, black and brown people get the aggression for the most part. And then, real situations where you would think that people would go into all of this stuff, you don't see these behaviors come from these officers. And so for people to sit and pretend like they don't see that, and then, they're probably related to someone who has been a victim of these type of mishandlings, it's a disservice, right? But they do it all the time, right? So I'm not really surprised to see that he was being fake about who he was. To me, that's my opinion, because a lot of them are, right? If we went digging in the dark for a whole lot of these people that do all this grandstanding, we would all be surprised at the type of stuff that we find. And I think Herschel Walker is another one, right?
Father's not in the home. Where's Fathers? Fathers, I'm going to need you to come back from hanging out with your home. boys and banging people that aren't your wife and take care of your kids and your baby mamas. Do you mind?
Because remember, not too long ago, he was out here campaigning because he's running for, I think, a senator seat in Georgia. And he was doing this whole thing about the black community and the absent black father. And I get it, you know, he is separating himself from the black community, not just because of his financial status, but because he may not feel that his family is a black family, right? And so regardless, you know, irregardless, I should say, whether you have a black family in white, green, purple, yellow, orange, you know, a father being present in a child's life is still the same. It's the same story, right? It may have slight differences, but at the end of the day, I think you can go to any group of people, and if you speak to someone who do not have a relationship with their father, they're probably going to tell you similar things that a black person would say. And, you know, regardless if his kids are biracial or not, you know, the four mothers of these children, non-black women, right? So we're not talking about the black community, but these women came forward and said that he was not present in their children's life. And so, you know, it's that part. These guys are saying all these stuff while they're running for office, but they're not living any of it, the stuff that they're saying. And the Jesse Lee Peterson, to my understanding, is a minister as well. So, you know, we don't even need to go into it about that black church. I said what I had to say on all of that on the Kim Burrell video, and I still mean what I say. And then come to find out, she, you know, was talking about people with PPP loans, and she had a PPP loan herself. Oh yeah, the jokes kind of write themselves. Like, I don't know what she was thinking or what was going on with her. But then she issued this weird apology with threats and all in there. She can't really say anything about what anyone is saying about her because she put this stuff out there. Like, people are playing what you said verbatim. So you said it. I don't know what you guys think about stuff like that. Like people, these politicians, ministers, you know, I feel like people, especially within the black church or in any church, they couldn't really speak to the word and stick to the word without going off into all of the other stuff. And I want to touch on the TD Jakes thing. I might touch on that on this channel, or I might touch on it on the Rant Room channel because I need to start posting over there. But, you know, I don't know what to say. I feel like people should leave their personal feelings about society out of their sermons, out of their political stance, you know, especially when you know that's not who you really are. Why are you out here saying stuff that you're not even living? You can't expect anything from anyone else other than what you would expect from yourself. That's it, and that's all. Let me know what you guys think about these stories, about the Kim Burrell situation, since that's still going on. Jesse Lee Peterson's connections coming out allegedly saying that they had relations with him, and Herschel Walker out here as well, talking about black men should do better at fathering their children, while he wasn't fathering at least 4 of his, according to the mothers. Let me know what you guys think about people doing that. Like I said, just going into these areas, whether the church or politics, and saying all the stuff that they know that they're not living. And with all of these cell phones and all this stuff out here today, you know, it's kind of hard to get away with all this stuff, right? I mean, because they pulled up that PPP loan application on Kim Burrell probably the same night. I just did not see it. When I went back to Twitter, I started to see all the stories, you know, people posting how she had one herself. And so she had to know that information was going to get out here, but then maybe she didn't. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.